All set? Okay, great. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 11th, I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, May 11th zoning board hearing. Before we go right into the minutes, our next meeting is going to be scheduled for June 8th, and then we may be going into the summer schedule, which will probably provide that date at a later time, but usually we run around the third week of July and the third week of August versus the second week of each month. So it looks like July and August, we're going to be looking at the third week for the hearings. I believe the planning board goes into their summer schedule. However, we don't have a summer schedule. With that, is everybody had an opportunity to review the notes? With that, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mary. Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? That was a second by Brian.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay. With that, it being after 7:05, the first hearing is going to be on the application of Francisco de Souza of 45 Pond Street. The special permit is relief pursuant to section 3.1.3 of the applicable provisions of the bylaw in relation to a parcel of land located on the northerly side of Central Street, known and numbered as 62 according to this notice. The special permit relief is sought in order to permit the construction of a 15-foot by 100-foot addition to the existing fabrication building on the site, which addition will meet all other minimum sideback requirements. Please note that the advertisement showed 162. The town planner has indicated in his letter that the address is 160 Central Street, not 162 Central Street. The advertisement has gone out as 162 Central. The abutters have clearly been notified in the area within a certain amount of footage, so short of a number or a couple of digits, we may be just fine, so we will hear it, but please note that the address and the address on the application was 162. The legal address is 160. With that, I'll read from the applicant's notice briefly, and then before we turn it over to the applicant himself. Again, indicating he wants to construct a 15-foot by 100-foot addition. Otherwise, it's going to meet all the minimum yard requirements. The existing structure predates zoning regulations and as such is a non-conforming pursuant to the section of 3.1.3. Permission is sought to extend the non-conforming structure via a special issued by the zoning board. Concerning the question that was asked of the applicant, explain the reason the special permit is sought in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the bylaw. He states Article 3.1.3 allows for the extension of a non-conforming building, providing the extension will not be more detrimental to the neighborhood. Concerning the question asked of the applicant, the proposed use of the premises will not create undue congestion or impair pedestrian safety. The applicant states there'll be no changes to the operation. The addition will allow more working space around the existing equipment, water jet, to promote more efficiency and safety. As far as the applicant's question asked that the proposed use of the premises will not cause any harm to the native, create a nuisance or hazardous ways affecting the health, safety of general public, the operations will not change. With that, this was heard at the planning board's meeting on May 10. Planning board recommends the favorable recommendation. Town planner letter indicates that the applicant did request a special permit to allow a 15 by 100-foot addition to the existing building. It should be noted that the proper address of the property is 160, not 162, as indicated on the application. The existing fabrication building is non-conforming as to the side yard setback. Therefore, an addition will require a special permit. The addition itself will meet all applicable setback requirements of the IA zone. An amended site plan will need to be submitted to the planning board, and you would recommend the favorable report be sent off to the Zoning Board of Appeals. With that, Mr. De Souza, please tell us what you're doing. Why don't you come on up to the microphone, please? If you've got a plan, would you post it up there?
Can I see it? Can I see the plan?
Sure. Here, there's a big one here.
Oh, okay, thank you.
There's a big one here. You can put that up for the public.
I use have Brian help me on this thing, but now he's too busy, and then I'm gonna
Who?
try.
Who?
Brian Murray.
Brian Murray, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but now I try to do by myself, and,
Save some money.
yeah, and now he's too expensive too, right? And like, I would like to tell
Why don't
you
you talk
guys-
into the microphone for me, okay? You can
Okay.
pull it off if you want.
Yeah, that's okay. And it's like, I'm from Brazil, is my English not so,
That's fine.
it's not so good. I'm gonna try to do my the best, but
You're doing fine.
if I have any.
You're
this one-
okay. It doesn't, it's just, you're on TV, so
Okay.
you're fine.
And it's like I say, the English not so good, but I'm gonna do my the best to explain to you guys. It's like the build is like 220 feet long.
Show us where Central Street is.
Center Street
Okay. On the top.
on the top.
Yep.
And then the build is like right on the property line on the center one
Yep.
side, and the other side, I'm the owner of this whole area. And the addition is gonna be 15 feet and 100 feet this way, because I bought a new machine a couple months ago, and the machine is so tight, because that build is 25 feet wide only. On the long ways, that's okay, but after we set up the machine, that's kind a little tight to operate with the forklift to feed with the stone the machine. And I have like a picture on the machine on my phone. If you guys want to see, I can show it. And basically, is right now on this area, I have like a slabs. Like, and then I'm gonna remove this slab to the other side and use that point to make it bigger.
Okay. All right, we'll address, you can have a seat now. Just stay next to the microphone in case we have any questions for you. What I'll do is, John, I'll start it on your end of the table. If you have any questions, then I'll take it to the audience once we get through the board members' questions.
Only question I have is, it's just more for safety, there's no other machines going in there, it's just to help you utilize, that piece of equipment in a safer manner.
Yes, then if I show you the picture, then you can understand better and probably
I'd
can.
like to see the picture, please.
Excuse me. Like, the machine is gonna take like 1/30 of the space, and then to feed, it's gonna be a little tight to the manpower work around.
Okay.
If I add that 15 feet, then I make it more room to, because that's I have,
And that machine is operating in the space now?
yes, but it's very tight.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm all set, I don't have any questions.
Mary?
What are you using the space for now? Are you storing stuff where you're gonna be?
We fabricate a beautiful countertop.
I'm sorry, you do what?
Countertops.
Countertop,
Countertops? Granite countertops?
yes.
No, but I mean, right now, that 15 by 100-foot area, is that, you have stuff stored there now, or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I have slabs that's storage outside.
Okay, so where will you move those?
Basically, if you make tight on the rest, because on 100, I can use like 50 for around the machine, and then the other 50, I can put the slab inside.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
On the last site plan that these are questions, so bear with me. On the last site plan, the plan actually shows the area for the storage of granite, pavers, and stone products. You may have saw me down there today, and I'm looking at 2-story high of stone and rock in 2 major locations. I mean, and they're as high as a building and as wide as a the Depot Street Liquor Building, the stone piles are as high as that and as wide as that. What's happening with all that stuff, and what are you doing with that? Because now you're gonna add an addition to this building, and there isn't any room on the site now with what you've already got there.
Okay, probably I gotta make a little turn to come to the answer you. When I moved there a few years ago, I mean, like 8, 9 years ago,
You pass that down.
I took like by myself and one guy, like 2 months to clean that place. It's like a piece old car, wood, all kind of junk when I bought the prop. Then I clean everything. Then I make some decent space to carry that stone. That is a field stone to build the walls, because one side the company does countertop and the other side do stone wall, like a retaining wall.
Well, you're asking us for a special permit, and when I'm looking at two giant stone piles, the size of a two-story building, and as wide as a big-sized building, almost the size of the addition you're looking for, what's gonna happen? Where are you gonna find the room to do this? Something's gotta give a little bit.
No, it's like on the stone you see now, because on the winter I bring in, but now I start bring out to build walls. And maybe in a couple months when I get this done, I have like a half those stone, because then I gonna do a stone wall.
Well, again, you have to operate your business, but you're asking for 100-foot addition by 15 feet, which I don't think I have a problem with at all. I have more of a problem that the senior center abuts the property, and they're looking out at a giant stone pile, and then the front of the area and back of the package store, it's just a giant mountain. So you really don't have any room now to move around, and now you want to add another 100-foot extension by 15 on the building. So if you're telling me that one of these giant piles are gonna go away,
No, definitely.
then we'll put a requirement in there that it's gotta be removed and stay removed.
Uh-huh. No, definitely, that stone is
I
gonna
mean,
go
if you're
away.
willing to work,
But I can load that pile if that's the problem. I can load them, make it. But by the way, it's like,
you need to make a living, I have no problem with that. It's just that it's really become to a point where it's like an eyesore over there.
I can,
Because you have all your granite area, the area that's on this plot plan where you're supposed to have your stone is now in the middle of the entire site. Because you have pallets of stone for stone walls,
Can I see the plan?
but now you're bringing in truckloads and truckloads of rock.
Where's the stone wall? Where's the stone, the pile of stone? Where's the pile of stone?
Where's the Depot Street?
It's
There's a
at-
giant pile as high as the building, this building, and as wide as this building. And then there's another giant pile right here, which is right next to the senior center.
So
That is right here. Next to this, actually, it's right in here.
Is there a fence here?
yes,
Is there a fence here?
uh-huh.
Well, how can you see, Dave, I'm confused by the angle of
See
the,
the size of the trucks?
yeah.
So-
No, but I'm confused. There's no fence here between the.
No, there's just shrubs. This one here, that's this building right here on Central Street.
Yeah.
See how tall the building is? And this pile is as wide as the building and as high as the building.
And so where's this pile? Where is it?
Right here.
Right, that pile right there? And then there's another pile back
Yeah,
here?
that's this one.
There's
So
no-
you don't
there's-
have this
look at the
fenced off
size
at
of the
all?
truck.
There's no fence,
So
right?
there's no security if a
Oh,
kid
maybe-
wants to
maybe
get
there-
in there
Maybe there
and
is a fence. That's a fence right there,
around the
right?
whole thing?
Yeah, white.
No, I have a fence.
You have a
Around the
fence?
whole thing?
Yes.
That's a white vinyl fence.
Actually, that's vinyl
This is all-
fence.
This is
Vinyl
all,
fence.
this is all chain link, I think, not white vinyl.
That.
No,
That.
I wanted to get the location familiar with everybody. I'll take it to the next board member. You'll have your opportunity, and we'll go down.
Sure.
I was down there this morning myself, I saw the piles. They're big, big piles. How long, from today's date, I don't know what kind of work schedule you have scheduled for the next couple of months or 3 months, but let's say over the next 3 months, how much are you gonna be able to deplete one of those piles?
I can drop, like in 2-3 months, I can drop half of those easily.
So you can bring, right now they're about 2 stories high. So you can bring them down to 1 story apiece?
They're 1.5 stories right now. One's 2 stories, the other one's 1.5.
And they're up there, in the big stones, they're not little stones, they're big stones. My concern with it is only, like, almost like some sort of slide, if something happened and they started going down, what damage could they create? That's my only concern with it. As far as where you're gonna be able to squeeze this building in, well, the more stones you bring in, the less room you're gonna have, it's as simple as that.
Brian?
I don't have anything additional, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
You have two businesses. One is to fabricate countertops and marble and granite, and then you have another business that builds walls
Yes.
on people's property.
Yes.
Comes down here upon the
And
street,
that's
right.
the only place where you have the stone, the
Granite and
storage
stone
of this stone?
So far, yes, I just put an offer on another property in Bellingham,
Yeah.
and them accept my offer. That's a farm on Grove Street, and the close supposed to be a couple weeks ago, but for some reason, I don't get the clothes by there. But as soon as I get the clothes, I can move some and keep just like enough for work, like a month, because every morning, that's the place we leave to go to work, to the job site, and then I can move most to there, because I'm gonna have like 10, maybe like 12 acres up there.
So what you're saying is you're not happy with what you got there and you're trying to correct it?
No, actually, I love stone.
No,
That
I mean,
is-
you're talking about the fact that you use that site to prepare in the morning, get your stone, go build the wall.
Yes,
But you're saying that you want to get another piece of property to take the big piles and put them there, and only leave on this property what you need for a week's work.
yes.
Okay. Now, how sure are you that you can buy another piece of property to move this rock to?
Well, I already put a big deposit, and I'm just waiting for the seller. Can take a week, it can take a month, but I already put a good deposit on, and it's gonna go through.
Okay? Thank you.
Dave, is this his property here too? Oh, is this your property over here too? Come on, sir. Is this your property too, right here?
Yes,
So it's all this coming down here?
yes. All the way from Center Street to Pond Street and
Okay,
to Pond Street and Beach Street.
okay,
There's like 3 streets down there.
okay, okay.
And when I try to tell him about the fence, that beautiful fence I did, and every year I have to go again to the senior center to have the town fix this fence, because he destroy every year.
So the top, people hit it?
The plow,
The plow hits
the
it?
plow hit, I used to plow for the town, and he used for my guys to plow here, we never have a problem. Then I stopped to plow, now whatever who send there, mess up the fence every year.
Okay,
And that is my fence. I pay for this fence because the build is new building, and I try make it nice up here. I put nice shrubs. Every year he destroys shrubs. He mess up the fence, and I have to go there. And then like 2-3 months later, he's go there and fix.
yeah, okay.
You take and build a giant stone wall. You got all the rock.
I have on the bottom.
You have on the bottom?
I have on the bottom. Then on the top, that's
You got plenty of rock to build 8 feet high.
yeah.
And the snow won't go through that.
It's like I try to
Try to
right.
do the right thing.
Yes, but
And that's what we're
on
looking
that
for.
pile, I feel so bad. I thought I'm okay with that pile, but if you guys don't like, I'm gonna do the best to.
No,
move around
it's just that the
the
piles seem to be getting way out of control, and if you can work with us to kind of make it look a little better,
No, I will.
that's what we're just looking to do.
I will.
Anybody on the audience want to be heard on this application? Okay. All right, before we close the hearing and vote, you have the last word.
Thank for you guys. Take my plan and
Before we close the hearing, though, does Mr. D'Antonio have an idea for him? Are you considering, like, saying no more big piles after a certain amount of time? Because we should ask, if that's what you want, we should ask him if he can live with that.
Yeah, my real question was, he seems himself to be unhappy with what's going on there.
Okay.
And so the question becomes, and I think Dave made a good point, these piles should probably at least be cut in half and the stone be brought to another property. And the question is, can he live with that?
oh, can I, because like John, I don't understand exactly what he tried asking. Can you help me up with?
Yeah, what he's saying is, how big the piles are today. Would you be willing to reduce the size of those piles moving forward and only have them as smaller piles? We haven't discussed on how big, but would you be willing, when you close on that other property, bring most of the stone there, and just reduce how much you keep on Central Street moving forward?
Like a couple of 10-wheeler truckloads or something like that.
See, I'd like to see just one pile and smaller. That's what I would like to see.
I think with Mr. D'Antonio, what would be your dimensional requirement, like, for this, like 20 feet by 5 feet high, something like that?
Well, I think what Dave said, I think the critical thing to this is safety and height. So my situation would be is cutting them down to maybe a one-story height so that it's safe, bringing them down.
Okay.
Like when you say when you start, that's like 10 feet, John.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 8 feet by a circumference of 20 feet, something that's easily measurable by the building inspector?
Yeah, that sounds good, Dave.
Okay.
That help you?
Okay.
That work for you?
Yeah,
You'll be provided plenty of time to do that in transition. So we're not saying, tomorrow,
We'll say we'll give them 6
6
months.
months.
We'll say 6
to
months.
get the piles down, to get the pile down. That enough time, or do you want more?
it's like.
We're trying to work with you here, but those giant piles are becoming dangerous, I think, and
I
you
think
need
6
to,
months is more than enough time.
but we're trying to work with you.
No, 6 months is enough. I'm gonna. It's like on flatways, I can have the same.
Yeah, what we're looking for is 20 feet in circumference and 8 feet high.
So you can have a pile that, goes out 20 feet, okay, all the way around. And then the pile, the height can be 8 feet. So you can have that much stone there, but no more. And then you keep the rest of the stone at your Bellingham location,
Okay.
okay? All right, okay,
Yep.
all right.
Okay,
You want to close the meeting?
so I have to close the hearing. You have your last word. Is there anything else that you would like
No,
to?
I'm-
You seem to be comfortable with that, I think? Okay. All right, with that, we'll close the hearing. Let's have, do we want to have a motion, Charlie? Do you want to have that motion made?
Yeah, I think the motion that Dave just
Well,
presented.
actually, you can't make the
No,
motion
because
because
I'm
I
not on the
closed it.
case.
So Dave will make the motion.
I make a motion of a 20-foot circumference pile of rock, not to exceed 8 feet high,
In one
pile,
pile,
right?
One pile,
yeah.
It's gonna be a
Can't
little
talk
bit.
ab-
Well, that's
Gonna
okay.
be hard to me, because it's like, he say I don't know who told, I think
We're
that's
gonna- we're-
the big ones.
Yeah, well,
Because the problem is, I have to select like medium size and big size. Because we need the big one to do on the bottom of the wall, and then the medium size to do
He's gonna
go
need,
up.
he's gonna
So you
need two
need
piles.
two
Then if
piles.
I have one pile, it's gonna be
Okay.
very tough
Right.
to
We-
do.
we-
Okay.
The hearing's closed, but go ahead and make a
Okay.
recommendation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's right.
two piles.
Two 20-foot circumference round piles of rock by 8 feet.
High.
No higher than 8 feet.
Not to exceed.
He's gonna need the two
Yeah.
different size stones.
Yes.
Mixing.
Do I have a motion? That's Dave's motion. Is there a second? Second. Okay, seconded by Brian. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Now you have a 20-day appeal period. So someone can appeal the decision we've made, but you really cannot move forward with actually doing anything until the appeal period is up of 20 days and town council issues you a decision. Make sure that that special permit gets recorded. You call Brian Murray, he'll record it. Okay? Because you really want that decision recorded, so it stays in effect. Okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
You can take that.
The next applicant. Mr. Goodman here?
I don't see him.
Okay.
Let's want to continue to the next meeting.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to continue it, because maybe he forgot. So,
Is there anyone here on that application? It doesn't matter.
let me read the application so we know. The application of Dr. Goodman at 145 West Street for a variance, and it's actually an amendment to a prior variance in relation to 1.05 acres, more or less. Parcel located on the southwesterly side of Highland Street and West Street, known as numbered as 145 West. The relief is sought in order to permit the construction of a 40 by 45.76-foot addition to the westerly side of the existing building on the site. And to the extent modification of an earlier variance is needed, the variance subject to the modifications would be the July 1365 variance, which allowed use of the property for office use. So I have a motion to continue this, because apparently the
I'll make a
applicant...
motion to continue to our next meeting, which is June 8th, did you say?
Yeah, June 8th. Do I have a second? Second by David. All those in favor? That's unanimous.
Are there
you
other
here for
people here for
I'm
that?
here to oppose Mr. Goodman's expansion.
Well, we just continued it. He's not here, so we couldn't hear it,
Right.
so, but
So I will be
June 8th.
notified.
No,
No, you
just
won't
write
be.
down June 8th. Here you go. Let me write down June 8th. That's gonna be when it's continued.
Yeah. So if you get here at 7,
You'll be good.
are you here on that as well? Okay,
On the
just,
8th, all right.
just
Okay.
make a note,
Thursday.
Thank you.
It's a
it's the
Thursday.
second Thursday, but it's June 8th.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
a motion to adjourn by Mary. Have a second? Second by Cazaloy. This time, I guess he got early. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Have a great evening.